many seekers that are on a quest of finding out what resonates with them. And by seekers, I mean people that don't follow blindly a religion, but they see what quenches their thirst that they have towards finding their true nature, their relationship to the universe. So a lot of these seekers explore Buddhism because it's a very interesting approach, particularly its meditation. But a large number of them, they somehow they get pulled back somewhat because they find that certain things within it are, or they sound too negativistic. And I have had emails from people saying that, for example, isn't it Vedanta a bit better? You know, I am the self, I am divine, rather that I don't exist, everything is pain, and so forth. So, and this is something that I myself did question, but I have been interested and looking at Buddhism for many decades, and of lately I grew quite close to it, although, as I said, I don't embrace anything in the absolute form. So let's have a look. So let's see a little bit what is it that people find so negativistic and have problems with. And one of them is, for example, when it says there is no self. Some people prefer to say, what is my true self? Rather than being told something that sounds, you don't exist. And also when they meditate, either if they meditate or they are doing sitting meditation or walking meditation, very often they are taught to repeat things like there is no self, nothing is permanent, and so forth. And they just have to repeat these things, that they think, well, okay, I don't exist, nothing is permanent, and even everything is suffering. And that the Buddha was saying to cut us away from our attachment to this world, our greed, and so forth. But I can understand that for some people it really sounds a bit too much, because they think I'll be going out there just looking everything as pain, and even meditations on the body, the body dying and rotting and so forth. But I didn't stop with that. I didn't say, oh, you know, this really is not made for me. But what I did instead is to see something very important and very beautiful I could take from Buddhism. And let's also keep in mind that the Buddha, he lived 2,500 years ago. And in those days, the average age was also 35 years sometimes, and often. And you could die from a tooth abscess or something like that in a lot of pain. So, of course, we still die, many very young and in a very painful way, but we tend to live a lot longer, and somehow many illnesses are cured. So, but let's look at the other aspect that really attracted me to it, and that is, for example, mindfulness. This is so beautiful because we always want to get rid of our pain and so forth just by obliterating it. But this beautiful thing of mindfulness, which is divided into 4 stages, and even this just follow your breath gently, you know, just following it in and following it out, and be the breath within the breath. And that is you are totally relaxed in it. You are letting the breath take you. And if the breath is too tense, don't fight against it. Just know it is too tense. And very often this lack of conflict in what we are perceiving releases that tension. So in the same way he goes through the body. Just relax the body, let go, be aware of what is there, don't deny it, but don't grasp it, let it go. And what many people ignore in the West, it then goes to a third stage, and that is freeing your emotions, feeling the things that keep us stuck in very painful states of being. So we are aware as we breathe in, we breathe out, anger is arising, anger is arising. But some people in the West, they misunderstand it, that then you go, I refuse this. That is really, it couldn't be the furthest away from what mindfulness is. You simply breathe in, breathe out, and you are aware of this anger. But by not fighting with it, just simply breathing through it, this anger tends to go, this awareness goes a bit deeper in the anger, then the anger arises and it begins to release. And then we become aware of the mindful patterns, of the patterns of the mind. Meaning I am actually total honesty. Look at this, so beautiful. I am an angry person, something that we don't want to admit. Me? No. But there is total sincerity and honesty. I am an angry person. And we slowly let go of that. And we go then into a fourth stage, where then we learn how to really release unnecessary attachments and stuff we really don't need in our life. But that is another topic. So that is, I think, very beautiful. And also, if you read the discourses of the Buddha, the short, middle, and lengthy discourses, it's very, very inspirational how he fought against the caste system, how he was the only prophet I know of, or important spiritual person, that clearly went against animal sacrifice as an unnecessary suffering. So there is a lot that you can take. I've been to many classes every week, advanced classes, where we will read through these narrations and talks of the Buddha, and there is so much compassion in it. Also, I'd like to, now what is very important, I'd like to bring your attention to a very known and very important Buddhist teacher who just passed away very recently, Thich Nhat Hanh, a Buddhist teacher originally from Vietnam. And he put, although following very close the teaching of the Buddha, he somehow changed the language. And that is, for example, so in those breathing in and breathing out, when we say to ourselves, everything is suffering, everything is impermanent, there is no self, I don't exist, he began to use more terms like breathing in and breathing out. I say thanks to nature. I relax myself and I let go. Present moment, beautiful moment. When he would walk and do the walking meditation, rather than to say everything is pain, he'll say thank you, Mother Nature, because of the love that you are giving me. And then he saw liberation very much as going back to our source, going back to nature and to our source and so forth. So you can keep the core of Buddhism, the teaching of mindfulness, of letting go, of compassion, but you can change a little bit the basic language that for some people is not very ideous. So there is so much more that I could tell you, but you know, it is a method that you can integrate almost with any approach. You know, this breathing in, breathing out, into your hands, O Lord, I commend my soul. You can do it as a Christian, and many do. And in you can integrate Vedanta, you know, who am I? You see, so you can use a certain meditation on those lines. You know, what is this? Just breathe in, breathe out, see everything changing and moving, but what is it that remains? What this is awareness that remains, so you keep on letting go till you reach that what remains, which is your true self. So before rejecting certain things, I recommend examine them and see, because maybe there is a lot of it that you choose to let go of, but there is a lot you can take with you and transform it into a treasure. Thanks for listening.